Okay, guys, I wanted to go over a trade, or go over the day, the morning actually, and review, kind of show you how I go over my trades. So I come here, I put this on quarter speed, 0.25, and run it. And I'll show you what I'm thinking. So as the morning starts, we can see that we have lower nodes 65.80, 66.50, has a little bit of number here, but what I'm mainly looking at is the stack. We don't have a lot stacked to the upside, we have a lot stacked to the bottom side, but the opposite is on the SPY and the Qs. So we have some nice stacking and some nice stacking with the Qs as well, so could be some upside potential. And as we start to move up, you can see a little bit of shuffling happening. I do like to wait the first few minutes and let the nodes stack up. And I can see that we're having a fight between 6,700 and 65.80. So now our stacking starting to pull to the top, and smaller numbers at the bottom. We got some here just below where we're at right now, which is normal to pull close to the price. 23, 12, 14, 12. These numbers 10, 3, 9, 5, 4. So not as much, and the same is on the Qs. These numbers don't outweigh the upper numbers. The lower numbers don't outweigh the upper numbers. So here I started to think that we're going to go up. I haven't entered yet. I will bring my trade in just a minute, but I'm just kind of telling you what I'm going through on the thinking. You can see the numbers are starting to stack up to the upside on on SPX, and also SPY. 1818 caught my eye above the 33 with a 56.24. We're at the money, so I'm thinking if we push through, 66.50 is a nice number to push through, but also 663. So I see 665. I like 665. I'm worried we're going to get hung up at 665, but we are on a bullish move. So here I start queuing up the 66.50. I believe that's the strike that I chose. Let me make sure. I have it over here still. Yeah, the 66.50. So I pulled up the 66.50. I got in at 9.53, and I think I remember the it just pulled back 9.52, and I was contemplating getting in, and then it jumped at 53. Let me look. But anyway, you see how the numbers shuffled to the upside quite a bit. Now we don't have a lot of lower nodes. Here we don't have a lot of lower nodes. We have stacked on top, stacked on top. We've pulled above, and this is what I wanted to see. Now I'm just waiting for a pullback like that one right there. But I still didn't enter. I think I was still getting my trade together, because I like to target an exit point too. So right now I'm actually targeting 66.90 for an exit if we can push through, because I don't like to go all the way to the king node when it's positive, especially when it's positive, because it works as a deflection. So your exit sometimes can be more important than your entry. I don't trade P&L. I did want to mention that. Don't trade P&L. Don't look at P&L and trade P&L. Trade the chart. If you have $1,000 target, you will exit early at $1,000 profit and leave $2,000 more on the table. So we're at 9.52. We start to move up. See this pullback right here at 51 is where I should have gotten in. 50 or 51, but I hesitated. But we are here. I saw plenty of upside I decided to take this trade on the 953 candle. Alright, let's just watch it play out. We have a nice floor, we have a nice floor, we have a nice floor. And I'm trading for 0. I only bought one contract here. Alright. You can see where I exited here at 43.90 at 10.16. We'll watch how it unfolds till 10.16. But I'm telling you, if I were trading on my own, I would set a profit target of so many dollars instead of a profit target of where S&P 500 is. So I'm watching the chart. We're moving up, we're moving up, we're moving up nicely. And I'm watching all the accumulation right here. 30s, 1610. We don't have a lot. The 657 could be concerned, but everything else is clear sailing to the upside. This moves the floor up on Qs. We still have a higher target. Everything's bullish. VIX is dropping quite rapidly actually too, so pretty steep to the downside. Okay. So I didn't go all the way to 66.90. I believe I undercut it. I wanted to say why. $10.16. We're at 10, so 10 more minutes of trading. There was something that told me to get out. Okay. This was a normal pullback. And then I waited for the next push up, which this was a nice push up. Alright, I started seeing these numbers getting larger. That's what it was. I started seeing these numbers getting larger. I figured they would deflect to the downside, and I just wanted to finish my trade anyway. Not a lot of pull to the upside here. We're almost done with this run as well on SPY, and these numbers haven't gotten any smaller. So I figured we'd revisit back down to the 663. I figured we'd revisit at least 604, maybe 600. And so the morning run is going to be over soon. And so I targeted 6685, and we overshot by a little bit. My target anyway, 6685, and I exited. And if you look here, I didn't leave a lot on the table. That candle's high was 44.7, and I got out at 43.9. Okay, so it's a very nice trade for me. That was my trade of the day, and I was done. So I say I was done. I wasn't done. I actually traded some more spreads, but I used some call spreads. You see, this didn't go too much further up either. So I thought this was a kind of a textbook exit, so that you can see that you can't focus on the actual highest node. You have to look at what all is around it and all the other conditions as well, because we didn't go any higher than that, 66.89. So 66.85 is 20 points below, right? So if you're sitting around waiting for it to go to 67.05, it might not happen. Or even 6,700, it might not happen. So you need to take yours out of the middle. Let somebody else win some too. So whoever you sell it to can win a little money too if you sell it to them with a little meat left on the bone. But I got the most of the meat out of that one. Somebody else down here took profits whenever I bought it from them. They passed the torch, and I kept running up. So I didn't take a put. I don't like to go counter trend. When the trend is up, I like to trade the trend up. VIX is not rising rapidly, as rapidly as it came down. Neither is the price. So I wouldn't see any reason to short it. It more looks like a grind coming into lunchtime. Lunchtimes can be grinds, and then you see a move near the end, 12:30, 1 o'clock. But anyway, selling call spreads here would have been good, right? I did sell some put spreads. I like to sell put spreads when it's bullish. And then what I do with Thinkorswim is I set a one cancels the other order to where if it breaks on at this point, if it broke below 6,600, it would buy to close at a loss. Otherwise, it holds until expiration. So you can set you don't have to come out 1%, 1.5%, or 2 times ATR or any of that. If you have HeatSeeker, you can set your levels based on, I mean, you can give it a little bit of cushion, of course, right? I gave 6625 some cushion of 6600. Sell the 6600 and buy the 6580. So 20 points on a spread. Another thing you're going to get with in the Discord we've got a room for, they're trading iron condors and spreads, right? So they're giving you an index spread for the day, selling this one, buying this one, 95 cents, 25 contracts. You just trade and then close it at 50%, right? So set a buy to close at 45 or 40, right? So these are all in the Discord, okay, guys? So it's a good group of traders. Good learning. You're gonna learn how to trade this. I like to take one trade, and sometimes I don't trade at all. You see that shift? Everything just shifted down, right? So now we've got a floor at 66.25. Got the magnet forming up here at 667 on the SPY. Qs are right here at 600. I think earlier I said I thought it would revisit these numbers, right? And we did. So, and then we're getting into the lunchtime chop, right? I believe that's what we get here. Yeah, lunchtime chop. And so I trade with the idea of only trading obvious trades, right? When it's so obvious, I'll trade. Some days I don't trade at all. I just sell credit spreads on the put side or the call side, and that's it. And that makes you enough money. If you keep your money, you'll live long enough, or you'll have your account long enough to trade those obvious setups. So the obvious setup this morning was one I took, and I didn't take any more. I sold credit on the top and the bottom. I like iron condors, but I like to sell my calls separate and my puts separate. And then I like to close them separate as well. So when it swings to the upside, my puts will close, and when it swings to the downside, my calls will close. So that's just how I like to do them. This is not an obvious trade. It looks like it's got an uptrend, but this dip was unexpected. Lower, 66.03. It actually almost hit my stop, but looking at that now. But it wasn't obvious that it's going to go to the upside. This is kind of a mixed match pattern. There's not a lot to the downside either. And then this 668 looks like it wants to be revisited. But this chop I stay out of. And then afternoons generally, I don't like to trade unless it's after power hour, 3 o'clock. And I rarely am around for those times. So, but we do have VIX going down. We have nodes to the upside. You could have taken a trade on this dip. or I'm just looking at it right now actually. On this dip, I don't know how far the dip's going to go, but say 25 is your floor, positive floor to deflect you back to the upside, and here we go. 66.50 pull, 668 pull on SPY. Got a lot of deflection, positive deflection to break through though. So you could take these scalps. These are 10-point scalps. Yeah, see that? Those drops? I don't like to stay in there for those. So there's a lot of guys that fight it all day and make money. Scalp here, scalp there, and they're in the Discord trading. So if you like this type of content, I'll do some more trade reviews when I do a trade, you know, and check out the options chain. I like to trade ES overnight as well. So put on, say, sell some credit before bedtime, and then set up a buy to close and let it close overnight, right? So I think I actually have some. Yeah, I do actually right here. ES 10 more. These just closed for some profit today, so not too bad. Not too bad. See how this ended up. Let's turn up the speed and watch it go. If we get back up here to 665, 666, looks like 66.50 is trying to go. Oh yeah, this is NVIDIA earnings day as well, so not sure how that turned out. But you definitely have chop here, guys. 627 to 637. You could even use some SPY to size down so you don't lose your money on the morning trades. Or XSP. XSP is just not that liquid. Qs or SPY are a better choice. $2 still stacked to the top side. Now we have 658 popping up on SPY. So a little bit of downside nodes. $5.95 on Qs. And there we go. We're going down to visit those places. 66.10. Coming back down here to visit. What is it, 230? Okay. And actually my put spread's already closed at that 2 o'clock spike. So alright, looks like everything shuffled back up to the upside, and we're going to pull it to the upside. Going into the power hour, last hour of the day. Got NVIDIA earnings coming up. Qs look like somebody's got a strangle, 604 and 595. Alright, and we just pop up. There we go. Upsy daisy. You caught that move. Nice move, just like in the morning. But like I said, I don't trade these end of day moves. I like to trade the first part of the day and obvious maps. Alright, looks like we're going to be pinned right here at 66.50 area. Oh, now we're moving up higher. Looks like everybody's bullish on NVIDIA, and I see the earnings came out very good, very good upcoming outlook as well. So they weren't wrong. There we go. Coming into the end of the day. Pinning right here at 66.50. All right, so if you want to like and comment on the video, appreciate it. And have any questions about the HeatSeeker Skylit community, feel free to ask. I can do some videos about that as well. And everybody have a safe trading day. No matter what you choose, if you choose a different gamma set or a different group to go with, make sure it's not just open interest, because that's not what this is. It's not just open interest numbers. This is actual dealer data of where hedges are happening. Okay, so I'm not sure about the mechanics of it. Only Glitch knows the mechanics of it for proprietary reasons, but this data is different than just overlaying some open interest on Thinkorswim platform. Okay, guys, safe trading out there, and we'll talk to you later.